Good morning, Year 5, and welcome to another Fraction Friday, the end of our last week on fractions. One more week to go next week. Okay, so here are your answers from yesterday. There is a still coming up if you want to go through your answers. I'm just going to go through with you number 7 on the whiteboard, just to talk through it one more time so you can hear the language and check that you've been doing the right method. There is quite a lot to remember, so I appreciate that. It is quite tricky, so well done if you're giving it a real good go. So Eva and Amir both work on a homework project. Eva says she spent 4¼ hours a week for 4 weeks doing her project, and Amir says he spent 2¾ hours a week for 5 weeks doing his project. So, like any reasoning problem, work out the answers first. Whether they've done it and got it wrong or they haven't done it, make sure you work out the answers. So to work out how long they spent, let's do Eva first. So she had 4 weeks, and each week she did 4¼ hours. So thinking about those step-by-steps yesterday, I'm going to change that first of all into an improper fraction. So 4 whole ones, remember 4/4 is 1 whole one. So to get 4 whole ones, I'm going to need 4 lots of that, so 16 quarters. Add that 1/4, gives me 17 quarters. And then, following the rules of multiplication, 4 lots of 17, which is 68, our denominator stays the same. Okay, so 68 quarters. And then I can turn that back into a whole number by working out how many 4s there are in 68. Now I know there are 10 4s in 40 and 7 4s in 28. So that's going to be 17. So that's her 17 hours. That's the calculation I did there. And then Amir, 5 weeks at 2¾ hours. So first step, change it into an improper fraction. So 2 whole ones is 8 quarters. Add those 3/4 is 11 quarters. Okay. 5 times 11 is 55, and my denominator stays the same. So this time I know that 55 isn't a multiple of 4 because it's odd. So I'm going to have a mixed number. I know that 4 times 12 is 48, and then another 4 is 52. So I'm going to have 13 whole ones because 13 4s are 52, and then there's 3 left, 13 3/4. Now you can compare, and you can see that Eva spent 17 hours on her homework project, so she spent longer because Amir only spent 13 hours and 3/4 on his. Okay, so that's your answers from yesterday. Now today's challenge is a little bit different. It starts with you having to generate 4 digits. Now how you do that is completely up to you. You can do like I did the other day with scoring the penalties, or you can just pick random number cards, or you can roll dice, anything you want to come up with 4 digits, not 0, but anything from 1 to 9. When you've got the 4 digits, you put them into a multiplication calculation. So for example, I'm going to roll 4 dice, and then I'm going to put them like that, 2 6 times 7 ninths, and then you just work out the answer. I've got some there, I'll work out the answer for this one. 2 6 times 7 ninths. So I'm doing 2 lots of 7 and 6 lots of 9. So I've got 14 54ths. Now I could leave it like that, there's nothing wrong with that, or I could find a common multiple. Now they're both even, so I know I can definitely divide them both by 2. So 14 divided by 2 is 7, and 54 divided by 2 is 50 divided by 2 is 25, and 2 more is 27. Just had to work that out quickly. And 7 is a prime number, so I'm going to stop there, and that's my answer, 7/27. So there's a few examples there. Have a go yourself, and then a little extension for you. One of mine here, this one here, has 6 as one of the numerators and 6 as one of the denominators. What do you notice about that answer? What do you notice when the numerator of one of the fractions, is the same as the denominator of the other fraction? It's the same with this one. So see if you can spot that pattern, and then we will be back next week With more on fractions, we're going to look at dividing fractions, which will bring our fractions learning sadly to an end. But your brains have worked very, very hard this week, so well done Year 5, and have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.